If you wish to survive in a corrupt world, do not begin with purity. Begin with understanding. Men are not ruled by justice. They are ruled by fear, by desire, and by appearances. The one who clings to virtue while others sharpen their knives is not noble. He is navi. Power is not given to the righteous. It is seized by the prepared. You must wear the mask they trust, while preparing the hand they'll never see. To rule among wolves, do not act like a sheep. The world rewards the clever, not the kind, the decisive, not the hesitant. If the game is dirty, learn the rules. Then bend them. Then own them. These are not suggestions, these are necessities. Now listen, and remember. He who hesitates, loses. He who plays clean, is played. The powerful do not begin with domination, they begin with obedience. Temporary, calculated obedience. In a corrupt world, playing clean from the start is not noble, it is suicidal. You may despise the system, you may curse its hypocrisy, its favoritism, its lies. But if you wish to outlast it, and one day reshape it, you must first understand it better than those who built it. The prince who dreams of justice while surrounded by wolves is not courageous. He is delusional. When the arena is filled with predators, the idealist is the first to bleed. Do not enter with a raised fist. Enter with a bowed head, not in submission, but in strategy. Learn the language of power, the silent nods, the false smiles, the calculated alliances. Let them think you are harmless. Let them believe you belong. Fit in, flatter, observe, watch how they lie. Listen to how they threaten behind polite words. Study their mechanisms of control, their rituals of reward and punishment. This is not surrender, this is infiltration. Every corrupt institution has rituals it respects. Participate in them. Not because you believe in them, but because you are not yet strong enough to challenge them. The bird does not defy the storm, it flies with the wind until the sky is clear, and when you rise you must do so not with anger, but with precision. The moment you hold influence, the moment your words are repeated, your presence feared or your silence noticed, then, and only then, do you begin to rewrite the rules. But here lies the genius of it. You do not announce your rebellion. You do not shout that you have changed the game. You act as if nothing changed, while changing everything. You promote those who once ignored you, not because they deserve it, but because now they are useful pawns. You quote their language even as you reverse their values. You turn their structure against them. Quietly, effectively. Remember, revolutions that begin with fire end in ashes, but those that begin with shadows endure. Do not waste your time demanding fairness from the unfair. Demand is weakness. Power does not ask, it takes. If you are not willing to wait, to learn, to play by the rules until you understand where they bend and where they break, then you are not ready, and the world will crush you as it has crushed many before you who thought morality alone could move the machine. Be wise, be patient, be invisible, until you are inevitable, for he who masters the system while appearing to serve it becomes the system. To survive among men, you must never reveal your full face. Only fools walk into battle naked. The wise wear armor, and the first layer is the mask. Do not misunderstand. The mask is not deception for the sake of falsehood. It is strategy in the face of unpredictability. In a world driven by perception, he who controls appearances controls outcomes. You may have truth, you may have strength, but if your enemies know where you stand, what you desire, and how you feel, they already know how to destroy you. Let others speak of transparency. Let them bear their thoughts, emotions, and fears. Watch how quickly the world turns their openness into a weapon against them. You must learn the opposite, to say less and show only what serves you. Become what the moment requires. In front of the righteous, appear virtuous. Among the wicked, appear cautious. Before the weak, appear just. In the face of the strong, appear loyal. Do not confuse this with cowardice. A lion disguised as a lamb can walk among its prey without resistance. The mask gives you passage and protection. If you are honest at the wrong time, with the wrong people, your truth will be ridiculed, resisted, or used against you. Your convictions will become chains. Your sincerity will become vulnerability. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." He understood what most still refuse to accept, that men judge not by truth, but by illusion. They trust what pleases them. They believe what flatters their ego. They fear what they do not understand. So give them what they wish to see, until the day comes when your position is so secure that no mask is needed. But even then, wear it, not because you fear exposure, but because unpredictability is power. The moment people think they truly know you, they stop fearing you. They stop respecting your silence. They predict your reactions, plan for your emotions, and maneuver around your habits. This is when you become vulnerable, not because you are weak, but because you have become obvious. So stay unreadable. Stay measured. Smile when you disagree. Nod when you plan to defy. Speak less than you know. Give compliments like currency, rarely, and when they serve your design. The mask protects your intent, preserves your leverage, and keeps your adversaries uncertain. Even your allies should not see your full face. Why? Because alliances change. The man who shares your vision today may envy your position tomorrow. Control the narrative others have of you. Give them a version that benefits you, not the whole truth, but the useful truth. There is no honor in being fully known and easily conquered. There is power in mystery. He who reveals nothing forces others to imagine everything and fear most of it. So wear the mask, not because you are false, but because the world is too eager to punish what is real. In the court of survival, image is not an accessory. It is a shield. Use it well. Use it always. In the game of power, betrayal is not a sin. It is a tool. But like any tool, it is only dangerous in the hands of the impulsive. Most betray out of emotion, anger, jealousy, pride. These are the betrayals that destroy not just their target, but their own credibility. They are loud, reactive, and short-sighted. The world remembers them not as victories but as scandals. Machiavelli knew better. To betray well, you must do so with calculation, not passion. You must not betray because you are hurt. You must betray because it is useful. The difference is not moral, it is strategic. You do not cut ties in a storm of rage. You loosen them quietly, while the other end still thinks you are holding on. Betrayal, when done right, is not personal. It is structural. It is the removal of an obstacle, not the expression of pain. You must rise above feeling. You must rise above revenge. Those who pursue power cannot afford to be sentimental. Understand this: loyalty is not sacred. It is conditional. It exists only as long as it benefits both parties. The moment it ceases to serve your position, it becomes a weight, and the wise do not carry weight they no longer need. He who remains loyal to those who cannot advance him, protect him, or shield him from destruction is not honorable. He is expendable. That said, do not make betrayal your reputation. Make it your weapon of last resort, sharp, sudden, and undeniable. The timing of betrayal is everything. Never strike when they expect it. Let them believe the bond is intact. Smile, offer trust, give them comfort. Then when the gain is greatest and their guard is lowest, act. Do not announce it. Do not explain it. Those who justify betrayal only expose their weakness. Let results speak. Let silence echo. If they cry treachery, let them. The world respects outcomes more than intentions. Even history forgets the morality of betrayal when it is followed by victory. Julius Caesar was warned. He believed in honor. Brutus believed in Rome. One lies in marble. The other lives in every throne that followed. Do not betray everyone. Do not trust no one. That is paranoia. It weakens your reach. Instead, build relationships you can use and escape from when necessary. The key is detachment. Emotion clouds timing. Resentment blinds reason. You must see people not for what they are to you emotionally, but what they are to your future. If they can take you there, walk beside them. If they stand in the way, remove them with elegance. And once the betrayal is done, never look back. Do not mourn what you outgrew. Do not regret what protected your rise. People will call you cold, let them. The cold rise, the warm burn. In this world, you will either betray or be betrayed. The difference lies in who chooses the moment. Let it be you, not because you are cruel, but because you are clear. The power that moves the world is not force, it is not gold, it is not blood, it is information. A man may act with strength, but if another controls the story of what that action meant, the stronger man becomes the villain, or worse, forgotten. This is why true power is not merely about what you do. It is about what people believe you have done, why you did it, and whether they fear, love, or ignore it. Control the action, and you win the moment. Control the narrative, and you win the world. Machiavelli understood this in a time before newspapers, before propaganda machines, before social media algorithms. And yet, his wisdom fits our modern world more than ever. He warned, "It is not necessary to be virtuous, only to appear so." He knew that perception is stronger than truth, and far easier to shape. To win, you must not only act strategically, you must speak strategically, remain silent strategically, and most importantly, let others speak what you've planted. The crowd does not seek truth, it seeks coherence. It wants stories that confirm its fears or soothe its uncertainty. He who feeds these stories gains influence, not by shouting, but by whispering the right words in the right ears. That is the art of informational control. Ask yourself, who owns your story? If your enemies can define your intentions, your motives, your history, then they own your reputation. And once reputation is lost, power quickly follows. So speak before they speak. Define yourself before others can. And once you have secured the narrative, defend it, not by argument but by repetition. Silence, too, is a weapon. The wise ruler knows when to say nothing. Let your enemies invent motives. Let them speculate. When you are silent, they reveal more about themselves than you ever could by answering. When you must speak, speak in shadows. Be ambiguous. Let every word serve multiple meanings. Leave your listeners to interpret, to debate. While they do, you move freely. Remember, people fear what they do not understand. And nothing is more dangerous than a man whose motives are unreadable. Confusion breeds caution, and caution delays opposition. Also, understand the flow of information. Control what your followers hear, and more importantly, what they don't. Censor not with commands, but with noise. Drown harmful truths in irrelevant detail. Hide the dagger beneath a dozen distractions. He who controls what others know controls what others do. Even allies must be kept in managed darkness. Give them enough to believe in your vision, never enough to understand your reach. The more they depend on you for clarity, the more loyal they become. And should falsehood serve your ends better than truth, use it without apology. A lie that builds your empire is worth more than a truth that exposes your weakness. This is not corruption. This is survival. You do not owe the world your transparency. You owe your future your strategy. So, control information. Shape it. Withhold it. Release it when it wounds others and shields you. For the man who commands perception commands reality. Do not wait for mercy from men who seek power. If they sense weakness, they will not forgive it. If they see hesitation, they will sharpen their blades. In a world ruled by ambition, survival belongs to the one who moves first. Those who are passive are not safe. They are simply delayed in their defeat. You must learn this. Power is not held by the cautious. It is claimed by the bold and kept by the ruthless. The longer you wait to act, the more the balance tilts against you. In silence, your enemies gather. In your kindness, they find opportunity. In your indecision, they write your ending. Strike first, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. Machiavelli said, "Injuries must be inflicted all at once, so that their suddenness may give less offense." This is not just advice, it is commandment. A wound anticipated is survived. A wound unexpected is fatal. Never allow your rivals the comfort of preparation. Do not telegraph your move. Do not warn with words. Act, and let the world adjust to what has already happened. It is better to be feared for decisiveness than admired for hesitation. Kindness that delays conflict only fertilizes it. The snake you feed today will bite your hand tomorrow, not out of betrayal, but because you allowed it to grow in peace. And when you strike, do not strike softly. The failed blow invites retaliation. The incomplete removal of a threat guarantees its return. The lesson of history is clear half. Measures are invitations to war. The wise do not deliver pain piece by piece. They remove the root. Your goal is not vengeance. It is prevention. The first strike is not about harming another. It is about protecting yourself from what they would do if given the chance. You must learn to sense danger before it arrives. The eye that waits for the blade to flash will see nothing but its own blood. Anticipation is power, and preemption is victory. But know this, your strike must be justified in the eyes of others, even if the justification is false. He who attacks and appears unjust becomes the villain, but he who strikes first and tells the better story becomes the hero. Thus, before you act, prepare the narrative, control it, own it, remove threats quietly when possible, publicly when it sends a message. And should others question your harshness, remind them. A king who sleeps too long never wakes up. A leader who forgives too easily eventually begs for forgiveness himself. Fear is not evil when used to establish stability. Mercy is not virtue when it endangers your rule. To build a legacy, to protect your ascent, to survive long enough to influence anything of value, you must become comfortable with discomfort. You must kill before you are killed, not physically, but politically, reputationally, and strategically. Strike first. Not because you wish harm, but because the world does. Morality is not a virtue. It is a tool. In the hands of the nadav, it becomes a burden. In the hands of the powerful, it becomes a blade. Understand this first. The world does not reward the righteous. It rewards the useful, the clever, and the dominant. The one who clings to moral purity in an impure world finds himself outmaneuvered by those who use morality not to follow it, but to manipulate it. Machiavelli warned, "A prince must learn how not to be good, and use this knowledge, or not use it, according to necessity." Therein lies the truth. Morality is a performance, not a principle. And like any performance, it must serve the audience, not the actor. Use morality as your costume, not your cage. Appear just, speak of justice, claim to protect the people. All while advancing your true objectives behind the curtain. The masses are drawn not to truth, but to righteousness. They do not see actions, they see stories, and he who claims the moral narrative controls the people's allegiance. Charity, loyalty, mercy, these are not weaknesses if applied strategically, if spoken loudly when convenient, if used to shame rivals and distract critics. When you act with force, frame it as duty. When you deceive, frame it as protection. When you remove a threat, claim it was for peace. The public will forgive almost anything if you wrap it in virtue. Let others carry the burden of moral consistency. Let them crumble beneath it. You will rise by using morality only when it benefits your power, and discarding it the moment it does not. You must not be bound by ideals. They are ropes others throw around your neck. The man who cannot abandon virtue when necessary becomes predictable, and predictable men are easily cornered. But you must not appear lawless. That is the mistake of the brute. Never look immoral. Only be immoral when the cost of morality outweighs the gain. Morality is most dangerous when it is genuine. Sincere men act on principle. Strategic men act on advantage. When you see your opponents bind themselves with their own conscience, do not argue with them. Encourage them. praise their principles. While they hesitate, you will act. While they reflect, you will advance. The wise know that the loudest moralists are often the most corrupt, because they understand what the weak do not, that preaching morality is more powerful than practicing it. This is why kings rule in the name of gods, why tyrants speak of peace, why corporations speak of community, and why liars speak of truth, because appearances feed obedience. Rhetoric builds thrones. If you wish to endure, you must use morality the way an archer uses his bow, to strike from a distance, to intimidate, to reach the hearts of those you never intend to serve. And when you are attacked, when your actions are questioned, double down on moral language, not explanation, not truth. Language. Tell them you acted for their good. Tell them it was justice. They will not ask for proof. They will ask for comfort. The greatest power lies not in being good, but in appearing good while doing what is necessary. So do not carry morality, wield it. In the theater of power silence speaks, but spectacle conquers. When you sever ties, do it with purpose. When you burn a bridge, do not regret it. Do it so brightly that others see the flames and remember your name. There are times when retreat is wise. There are times when diplomacy is necessary. But there are also moments when the most effective move is to destroy the path behind you, not just to escape it, but to announce that you will never return. Do not waste your power on private exits. When a relationship, alliance, or institution has lost its use, or worse, become a threat, your departure should not be gentle. It should leave a mark. Why? Because public disassociation is a message. It says, I no longer need you. It says, I choose risk over submission. And most importantly, it says, to betray me carries consequences. A Machiavelli wrote, it is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both. And nothing instills fear like a decisive break. Fear, unlike love, does not fade when times are hard. It lingers. It anticipates. It makes others think twice before crossing you. But the art lies not in the act alone. It lies in the timing and delivery. Do not burn bridges out of spite. That is weakness disguised as pride. Burn bridges when it advantages your position, protects your reputation, or builds your legend. If you must walk away, let the world know you chose to leave, not that you were pushed out. Reframe betrayal as clarity. Recast rejection as elevation. In the realm of perception, truth is irrelevant, narrative is king. People are drawn to strength. They follow those who do not beg to be accepted, but who declare themselves independent. When you burn a bridge that others feared to walk away from, you do not lose. You gain followers who admire your boldness, even in silence. Understand diplomacy keeps peace, but public separation creates hierarchy. When you walk away and scorch the earth behind you, you make it known that you are untethered, free to define your own rules, and power loves the unbound. But burn wisely. You cannot burn every bridge and expect to build an empire. Select the ones that carry the most symbolic weight. The ones that others warned you never to cross. The ones that tied you to the past you've outgrown. Burning a bridge should always serve a larger strategy. It should silence rumors, assert dominance, create clarity in a world addicted to confusion. And once the fire is lit, never turn back. Those who return to what they destroyed are not seen as strong. They are seen as uncertain, and uncertainty is weakness. You must make your exits final, absolute. Let them feel your absence. Let them regret your presence only when it's too late. This is not cruelty. This is instruction. You are teaching the world how to treat you. You are setting the price of your loyalty. You are warning future betrayers that when you leave, it is permanent and painful. Sometimes, the bridge itself is not the enemy. The memory of walking it is. And to move forward, you must destroy the path that tempts your return. So do not fear fire. Wield it publicly, decisively, without apology. Let your enemies see the smoke and reconsider ever lighting the match. The most dangerous move is not the sword drawn in anger. It is the blade concealed behind kindness. The smile that precedes betrayal is sharper than any weapon. Power in its purest form is not loud. It is silent, patient, and often dressed in charm. To act with brute force alone is to forfeit strategy. The wise do not announce their intentions. They disguise them, in praise, in warmth, in politeness. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten the wolves. You must be both, but when you begin your ascent, be the fox first, not seen, not feared, but present, watching, calculating, smiling. To hide the knife with a smile is not simply deception, it is protection. The open enemy is rarely the one who brings you down. It is the friend who smiles as he collects your secrets, the ally who applauds as he prepares your fall. So you must do the same, not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. Because in a world where appearances rule, those who wear sincerity openly are not respected, they are used. Your smile must serve a function. It must comfort the insecure, disarm the suspicious, and confuse the observant. Let them believe you are harmless. Let them believe you are sincere. While they relax, you maneuver. Do not rush to reveal your edge. Reserve it. There is strength in being underestimated, in being dismissed. The fool who sees only your charm will never prepare for your cunning. And when the moment comes, when betrayal is necessary, when advantage demands a shift, do not remove the smile, keep it. Deliver your blow with grace, not fury. Let your opponent be stunned not only by your action, but by your calm. He who smiles while destroying wins not just the battle, he wins the silence of the room. A man who shows anger before action reveals his position. A man who smiles until the end leaves his enemy confused until the fall. There is no honor in broadcasting your intentions. There is no reward in being predictable. The true art of power lies in subtlety. Let others scream. Let them threaten. Let them draw attention. You will draw results. Let your opponents believe you are an ally. Let them believe you are aligned. Feed their ego. Mirror their language. Praise their ambition. And when they lower their guard, act. But act cleanly, decisively, without spectacle. The goal is not chaos. It is control. And once you've acted, return to your position. Smile again. Offer your hand. If they are wise, they will never test you again. If they are foolish, they will not be around to remember. You must understand deception is not dishonor. It is discipline. To conceal the knife is not a sin, it is survival. For the one who carries a blade in the open becomes a target, but the one who hides it behind civility becomes a shadow, feared, respected, and rarely challenged. So smile, because a true smile can hide many things: intent, advantage, power, and when needed, justice. And behind it, keep your blade sharp. Because when power calls, you must be ready to answer, without expression, without hesitation, and without mercy. Now you understand, power is not given, it is taken, by the prepared, the patient, and the mercilessly strategic. You were taught to play fair, to speak honestly, to fight clean, and yet those who rule over you, in politics, in business, in media, follow none of these rules. They follow Machiavelli's. They smile when they plan your fall. They betray without guilt. They control not only actions, but thoughts. They rewrite stories. They burn bridges when it strengthens their throne. They act first and justify later. And above all, they never play by the rules they preach. You do not have to be cruel to be powerful, but you must be willing to be cold. You must be willing to see the game for what it is, and stop pretending it's something else. These laws are not ideals. They are not dreams. They are truths forged in history, sharpened by ambition, and proven by every empire that ever rose and every king who refused to kneel. So wear the mask. Speak the words. Strike when it matters. Control the crowd, or be controlled by it. Because in a dirty world, playing clean isn't noble. it's fatal.